Hello everybody and welcome back to On Point HQ. Now, if you follow me on social media or you watch the most excellent Plastic Crap podcast every Monday, you will know I have a bit of an obsession at the moment, and this obsession is called O Group. I have two people to blame for this current obsession. The first is Dom from Boots on the Table, one of my co-hosts on the Plastic Crap podcast, who's fully immersed in O Group at the moment and is producing armies left, right and centre. And the second is Alex from Storm of Steel Wargaming. Again, really into his O Group and has produced some fantastic battle reports on his channel that really show you the mechanics of how the game works. So before I show you exactly what I've been working on, what is O Group? So O Group is a wargaming rule set written by David Brown, and it focuses on battalion level size wargaming. Very abstract, so it's not going to be a one-to-one sort of scale wise on the table. The basing size doesn't really matter, the number of figures on each base doesn't really matter. It's quite an abstract approach to the game, and I think this really lends itself to that battalion sized war game feel that David has really put together. It'll make more sense when I show you exactly what I've been working on, because the basing, it's probably not what you expect from a war game this size. Now, mine's primarily in it's all in 15mm, but it can be played across a number of different scales. So I've completed my first army, which is a late war British battalion with companies and a number of support options. So let's crack on with what I've been up to. Now the first thing, or the first base, you don't actually need. You don't actually need to have this in your army. And that's your battalion HQ. And this is mine. This is my battalion HQ. So as you can see, it's quite a big base. Got a bit of detail on there. We've got the head honcho in charge, barking orders there. We've got a radio operator, a couple of guards. Essentially what this is, it's just a funky dice holder. Because in there, I'm going to put my what I call HQ orders. So you generate in the game, you generate company orders and HQ orders, and this is just a nice way of keeping track of your HQ orders. It's essentially a nice dice holder at the end of the day, but it gave me a bit of scope to be a bit creative, make an oversized base like I am rather used to doing, and make a little scene. Look at that. Got a little map, little table. Yeah, I really enjoy putting this together. Again, not needed. You don't need to build one of these, but I felt that I had to. Now another thing you don't need is what else is connected to your HQ. It's a mortar base, and again these can be kept off. You don't need to make them. They can be kept off table, but they just represent your mortar support that you've got throughout the game. So these will essentially sit at the back of the table and look very pretty. I think they do look very pretty. What you'll see is they're a mixture of Battlefront and Plastic Soldier Company figures, and this is a theme throughout the entire army. Mostly Battlefront, but with Plastic Soldier Company thrown in. And again, you don't need these bases. You can certainly get by without them, but I was not going to pass over an opportunity to do something a bit creative and a bit overly sized based for these. So there we go. Now the way that the battalion is made up in O Group is you have your battalion, which is 3 companies with their commanders, their HQs. You've got your battalion HQ, you've got your mortars, and you've got your forward observation officer as well. So I've shown you the battalion HQ, I've shown you the mortars, which again we don't necessarily need. On to something that we do actually need though, and it's these. Now let's see if we're going to struggle to get these in. There we go. So yes, the basing I'll get to in a second. This is the battalion. So right here we have 3 companies with their HQs at the top there. So I'll just run through. So one base, as I mentioned before in the video, O Group is abstract. So this means that it's not one-to-one. A bit of creative license, a bit of thinking outside the box required here. But I'll briefly run through what I mean. So at the front here, we have one base with 2 figures on. Now that is a section. So essentially 10 men. 3 of these bases make up a platoon, and then 3 of these platoons, so 9 bases, make up a company. And you have 3 of these companies to make up your sort of your core battalion. And these are going to be the mainstay of your O group army. These are the ones that will be doing most of the fighting. These are the ones that will be doing the probing. It's just a nice way of representing them. So I mentioned earlier that it doesn't matter about the base size, doesn't matter about the amount of figures on the bases. So I can play against someone who's got a completely differently based army, and it wouldn't have any impact on the game whatsoever. But I gotta say, I did enjoy painting these. These were lovely figures to paint. I went for this particular basing because I wanted smaller bases, and I thought with 2 figures on each base I could get through it really quickly rather than painting 4 or 5. I'm quite a lazy painter, me, so I found a nice nifty way of painting these really quickly, and I flew through them. Again, these are Battlefront late war British infantry, and they are stupendously nice figures to paint. Really lovely. You've got a mixture of riflemen, NCOs, Bren gunners, and then at the back here I've got the same figure for the HQ, just to make it stand out. Again, very abstract. They don't need to be, completely individual. The more keen-eyed amongst you will notice with the basing, I've adopted a tip from Lindy Beige. So Lloyd, in his Crossfire videos, has mentioned that he uses different types of scenery, different types of terrain, sort of clump foliage, etc., to differentiate different sections and platoons, and I've done that here with these. So we have green and yellow as Company A, red as Company B, and purple is Company C, and these are repeated again on the HQs there. Just dead easy to make me, or allow me to see which platoons are where on the battlefield. Just a great idea from Lloyd, and he has many, let's be honest, he has many great ideas. But there we go. So they are my core, that's my core battalion there. 3 companies of late war British infantry. So to this we can add different support options. So what should we look at first? Let's go with these ones here. So on here, again, a bit of suspending your belief with the actual figure numbers. So at the front here we have a base with a Vickers machine gun and a Piat. They are a support section, or support platoon rather. Next to that we have one base here, so this is a Vickers machine gun team. That's going to form a machine gun platoon. Chap at the back there is a forward observation officer, so he's going to be part of the sort of the HQ unit. And then here we have an assault pioneer platoon with a flamethrower. Let me just look at the flamethrower. Yes, there we go. People know me, know I love my flamethrowers in wargaming. I'm just that way inclined. But again, this is a good indication of just how the basing works. What I've done is I've put some support options on different size bases to differentiate them from the main sort of battalion. But I think they work quite well. Again, mix of Plastic Soldier Company and Battlefront. And really nice to paint they were as well. And again, different coloured tufts on the basing just to differentiate them. So that is a support platoon, a machine gun platoon, assault pioneer platoon, and a forward observation officer. So what's next? So a lot of these will have transports and tows. So here we have 3 universal carriers. Great little kits, these from Battlefront, go together really well. Paint up really nice as well. And these aren't anything specific, so if I choose to add some more supports, I can just add these to different support options. There we go. Again, transports, yeah, everyone needs them, and they were really nice to paint. Lovely little models as well. And with the box you get so many options as well. You get universal carriers, you get machine gun carriers, wasps, anti-tank carriers. Great versatile box from Battlefront. So another option I've added is 2 recce platoons, and here we have those. Again, these are from Battlefront, and what we have is 2 platoons, 2 bases in each one. So we have a Daimler Dingo and we have a Daimler Scout car, and again this is just replicated twice. we go. Again, these were lovely to paint, put together, and these took me no time at all to paint. I think to paint the first platoon, which is these two here, it took me about 90 minutes. Just no time at all. That's why what I missed about painting 15mm, you can certainly fly through the painting when you need to. But again, lovely models, go together so well, great detail, especially on the crew. It's given me a chance to go a bit overboard with basing as well. People have said that, like, Steve, your basing's a bit colourful, isn't it? I don't normally do colourful basing, so it's given me a chance to really crack out the coloured tufts. So they are, that's 2 recce platoons. We've got a Daimler Dingo and a Daimler Scout Car in each one. Brilliant. Now it wouldn't be World War II British without some tanks. Fear not, we have tanks. And here are the tanks. So I've gone for 2 platoons here. So on the left, everyone knows what these are. These are Churchills. Look at these. One of my favourite tanks of World War II. So iconic. Again, they're both from Battlefront. Again, lovely kits. Went together so well and painted up so nicely as well. And then on here we have a platoon of, on the left we have a Firefly. And then on this chap here, this chap's meant to be a 76mm Sherman, but it's at 75. Don't tell anyone. I think at this stage, at this scale, though, I'm not going to be too precious about whether a certain variant's going to be used. As far as I'm concerned, at this scale, that's a Sherman. Whether it's 75 or 76, I don't particularly care. But we've got a Firefly, and we've got a Sherman. So, a bit of an interesting mix. This is a Battlefront Sherman here. Now, this is, the hull is Plastic Soldier Company, so the everything apart from the tracks. The tracks are from Battlefront. They're off this Sherman here, because I couldn't face the separate plastic track sections on the Plastic Soldier Company kits. I just was having none of it, so I just swapped them, and they fit really well. You wouldn't think that was 2 different kits put together, but there we go. That is the armour support. Now I said this is finished. It's not quite finished. I need to add a second Sherman platoon, and I want to add some M10s as well. But I think every battalion needs some armour support, and these are the armour support for this particular battalion. So what's left? So last but not least is a bit of anti-tank support with these. So these are 6-pounder anti-tank guns, again by Battlefront. Lovely kits. Again, it gave me an opportunity to put them on really oversized bases and go a bit over the top with the basing. But again, I know I keep waxing lyrical about Battlefront's kits, but they are stupendously nice kits. They really are nice to put together and great to paint as well. So these come with, you need tows. So again, I've used 2 universal carriers as tows. And that's the 6-pounder anti-tank platoon. You can only take 1 of these. So I'm fully done in the whole anti-tank department. But you can see that again, lovely to paint. No time at all to put together and paint up. And just a thoroughly enjoyable platoon to build. So I believe that is everything that I've painted. That equates to about 36 points in O group, which is more than I think I will ever need to use. Yes, I hope you enjoyed it. I know that's all I've been painting for the past month, and people have been really supportive of it. O group is really, like I said, it's really growing in our community. So it's going to be great to finally get some games in with this. My next project is going to be a sort of opposing force. I'm going to be doing a late war German grenadier army to face them. I'm going to be starting that in a couple of weeks' time. Fear not, there will be more bolt action content on the way, as I'm very close to actually finishing a very similar project to this, but in 28mm. I've been working on an 11th Armoured Division project for bolt action. That will be next once I've put my 28mm painting hat back on. Well, I hope you find that interesting. It's good to be making videos again. It's good to be painting 15mm again. If you've got any comments or questions about this or wargaming in general, just leave them down below, and I'll certainly respond to all comments and questions. But as always, thanks for watching, do take care, may your dice roll well, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So bye bye for now.